snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hi guys, so today I'm going to be filming my April TBR. So welcome to April, happy April Fool's Day, and I hope you really enjoy some of the books that I've got to show you. And I'm really excited about all of them. I don't know if I'll get through them all because I've got quite a lot to show you guys, but you can definitely leave me your comments down below saying which ones you think will be the best ones for me to read and which I'll enjoy and so on. So definitely leave me all that information down below and I will hopefully be able to chat to you guys about these books very, very soon. So let's get started. So the first book that I want to read in the month of April is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I'm really excited about this book. I've heard really, really good things all across BookTube, and all I kind of know about it is that it's set in the world 2044, so it's in the future, and it's kind of a time where humans have ruined the world, climate change has taken over and everything's gone wrong. So it's all about that problem and how they're going to solve it, and then it's also set in this thing called Oasis, which is kind of like an online virtual utopia type thing, or at least that's kind of what I understand. And most people prefer to spend their time living inside this game, virtual reality, rather than living in the real world. Therefore everything's fallen into disuse, and so it sounds like it'll be really good. It's quite short as well, so I'm hoping that I can get through it fairly quickly, and I'm just really excited about this one because I know that a lot of people have said that it's really nerdy and geeky and fun and just a really enjoyable read, so I'm really excited, and I love the cover. I think that the typography is just beautiful and that the whole thing is just really well designed, so I'm just really excited about this and I cannot wait. So the next book that I want to read in April is The Age of Miracles, which is by Karen Thompson Walker, and this book is all about what would happen if time suddenly stretched out and if our minutes became hours, hours became days, and days became weeks and so on, and time just slowed down and everything kind of changed so that the day was in the night and vice versa, and it sounds like it'll be a really interesting read. It came out in 2012, so it's not that old, but I haven't really heard very much about it, so I'm definitely intrigued by it, and it's quite short again, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to get through this one quickly as well, and these two will just kind of be quick reads. They're both set in sort of dystopian worlds where everything's going wrong, and it just sounds really cool though. I'm kind of in the mood for some dystopians, so I'm excited about these two. And again, the cover of this one is, I'm not going to lie, the main reason that I bought it, and it's just beautiful and I'm so excited about this. Even if it's rubbish, the covers are beautiful, so that's the main thing, isn't it? It's just that sunlight is just stunning and this lovely amount of sky, they're just, So the next book that I'm going to read in April is Red Seas Under Red Skies, which is by Scott Lynch. Obviously I've talked about this in my wrap-up because I have already started reading it. I'm now very, very close to the end, less than 100 pages, and I'm really loving this and I'm so excited, so look out for a review of this book in the next few days because it is wonderful and I cannot wait to talk about it with you guys. It's about these two thieves and they have a lot of escapades that they have to get through, and a lot of plots are interwoven and lies are interwoven, and just the skill that these two characters have is just jolly and exciting and so much fun. This whole read has been so exciting, so fun. I am in love with Scott Lynch as well as Brandon Sanderson now, so two favourite authors. It's been good. It's been a really, really good book and I would highly recommend this series to you guys. The next two books that I would like to read are Wool and Shift, both of which are by Hugh Howey, and these are both set in a dystopian kind of world as well. These are actually supposed to be quite similar to the Hunger Games, but for adults. That's what it says on the cover, so let's see. I don't know. I really don't know very much about these. So it's about these people who live in a dystopian world and they live underground in a massive silo because the world has just become uninhabitable, I guess. And they live underground and everyone follows the rules and they have a very strict rules code going on, but there are people who don't follow the rules, and Jules, the main character, is one of those people, so yeah, I'm just excited to see what this series is all about, and it's quite chunky, this series, but I'm excited about it, and I've got the first two books, so I know it's got really, really good reviews. Every time I've ever seen anyone mention it, they've said it was amazing, so I'm hoping that will be true, and I will really, really enjoy it. Let me know if you've read this series, because I'm really interested in this one, and I absolutely adore the covers of these. This month is a good cover month.
Thank you, bye. Typical. Getting calls from the AA in the middle of me filming.
So the next book that I will be reading in the month of April, and I have already started and already spoken about this in quite some detail because I did an unboxing of a load of the books in the series and I went through all of the ones that I have. The Colour of Magic by Terry Pratchett, which is the first one in the Discworld series. Discworld is a world which is set on the back of a giant turtle who flies through space, and a load of elephants support him as well, holding up the world, which is flat. So I mean, that description kind of sums it all up, in my opinion, and it's just a really wacky, crazy kind of world, and I'm really excited to get through this series, so I won't talk any more about it because I've shown you guys in my other video in a lot of detail all of the covers and so on. The next book that I'm going to be reading is The Furies of Calderon, which is by Jim Butcher, and I'm really excited to be doing a co-read with Charlotte from Char's New Chapter, or Char Freyers. I'll put her links down below and you can go over to her channel and check her out as well because she is wonderful and we're both really excited about this series. So it's set in a fantasy world where people can control furies, which I assume are kind of like the elements, fire, water, so on. That's the impression I get from the cover. So a lot of people have the ability to use furies and they can control them and manipulate them to their will, and they can light fires and just use them in their everyday life. And it's about a character called Tavi who is finding it very hard to kind of get control over the Furies, and he can't really do anything with it and he's struggling to use them, and I'm not entirely sure. And then an enemy returns to his camp who is a savage enemy and he has to do something to stop it. And then it's also set in another character's point of view called Amara, and she is a spy who is working for the crown. So it sounds really cool. I love fantasy, so I'm sure that this will be absolutely amazing, and I'm just really excited because I've heard nothing but good things about this, and I know that a lot of people really rate Jim Butcher highly, so it's definitely something I've been meaning to get to for a while, and this month is the month. The next book I'm going to read in April is A Darkness at Sethanon, which is by Raymond E. Feist, and this is the third book in the Magician series. I've read the first two and I really enjoyed them, and I just want to finish the series because I know that there's 3 in the Rift War trilogy, and this is the third one, and then there's loads of others which are set in the same world and have different character arcs and things like that. So I might look into them if I really enjoy this one, but at the moment this is the end of that series for me, so I just want to finish it and be really, really happy that I've got it off my TBR. So it's about a young boy who's called Pug, and he is actually a magician, and it's kind of all about his adventures in this world that they live in the Rift War world, and it's all about the war and how that's all happening, and like a lot of epic stuff happens. This is kind of the roots of true fantasy. It's very old. So it was first written in 1987, so it's pretty old, older than me, and obviously the whole series is quite old, and Raymond E. Feist is kind of like a classic fantasy author, so I'm really excited to get into another one of his books because I enjoyed the first ones quite a lot, and hopefully this one will be really good as well. And I love the covers. I'm having a really good cover month. Like, I really do like it when it's black and then there's something creeping out at you. I think that that's really creepy and just draws you into the book and makes you want to read it. So I really like it. Again, and the gold embossing is just beautiful. So exciting! The next book that I want to read in April is The Fires of Heaven by Robert Jordan, and this is book 5 in the Wheel of Time series. As you can see behind me, I've got the others, I've read them, and I really enjoyed them, and I just want to carry on with the series. I'm really excited about it, so it should be really good fun. It's mainly about a guy called Randall Thor, and it's all about his battle with the Dark Lord in the world that they live in, and it's kind of an ongoing massive adventure with so many strings, so many characters, and so many different things going on at once across the world. So it is quite an undertaking. There are 14 books in the series. It's a huge series, and I'm just really enjoying it, but I am taking it very, very slow. Because it is such a giant series, and all of these books tend to be around 1,000 pages. This one's only 889, so it's not quite as bad as some of the others, but it is really, really long, and yeah, it's going to take a while to get through this. It's a chunky book, but I'm excited and I'm very happy to be back into this series because I know it'll be really good fun to sort of remember who all the characters are and relive it all and get back into the world. The next and final book that I am probably going to read in April if I have time, because there are so many books that I've shown you guys, is The Dwarves, which is by Marcus Heiss. and I'm really excited about this one. I kind of found it in a charity shop and I'd never heard anything about it before, but then I went into Waterstones and saw it after I'd bought it from the charity shop for £1, and I saw it in Waterstones for like £10, and I was like, good bargain, and it looks really good. It was on their featured books, so I'm really excited about this one. Another fantasy, and it's all about dwarves. It's about a kingdom of dwarves who are defending themselves, and then a young dwarf called Tungdil actually gets sent out on an errand, and I think it's the story of his journey and where he goes. And I know that there are quite a few other books in this series as well that follow on from this, so again, I'm really excited to start another fantasy. Even though I've got so many series on the go already, why not start another one? It's just going to be fun, and I'm really excited about this one because I've never really read anything that focuses solely on dwarves. I've just kind of read a lot of wizards and fantasy and people and magicians. They're kind of the main feature of a lot of fantasy, whereas this one is all about dwarves, so why not dive into the dwarven world and enjoy it? So those are all of the books that I'm going to plan on reading in April. Don't hate me if I don't get through all of them because there are so many of them, but I'm going to try and get through as many as I can, and I may pick up another book here or there if I feel like replacing one of these with another book off my bookshelf, so yeah. But if you see any in this pile that you really want me to read and review soon, then definitely let me know down below and I will get to them as fast as I possibly can. I'm really excited to be home and having more time to actually read, so definitely leave me all of your comments and I can talk to you guys about these books, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye! Me and you gonna have a little chat